digest. From lane to the new shining ground, echo chants where the legends are found. Heroes carved in the heart of time, we march on through grit and grime. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Oh Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire. Echoes of King and Greaves in the air. Every goal, the sound declares. Heartbeats pound like a drummer's song, marching forward, fierce and strong. We're the ones who rise in the clash. Numbers running in a white shirt dash. History burns in the roaring crowd. Every game we scream it loud. Hold 'em, Tottenham, Tottenham till I die. Raise the banner, let it fly. Through the rain, through the fire, this is my club, my only desire.
Hi and good evening and welcome to THFC Till We Die, the home of Tottenham past, present and the exciting future done by us fans. We are the future. We Tottenham are the past, we are the present and we are the future of this football club. Players and managers may go. The only thing that will always stay here is us, the Tottenham fans. And of course, joining me tonight to make sense of all what's happening at our beloved Tottenham is the one and only Rain. Rain, how are you this evening, bud?
Very good, mate. Very, very good. Very good. Yep. Ready for another good chat about our beloved club.
Yeah.
Sort out all of the ills of the world. Let's see how far we get tonight.
Yeah, and we start with a bang because we've gone over the 2,400 marker. So we're only 599 away from 3K. So big up to everyone. Thank you so much. We're halfway there, I think. No, we're not halfway there. We're a bit under halfway there. But look, I think we should start with this, Rain. The sad news we got yesterday of 3 bits of sad news, 2 Spurs related. The other one from Kevin Keegan as well, getting his diagnosis of cancer, stomach cancer, I think. Do you want to send anything to Kevin Keegan? Because look, as an Irish person, do you know he didn't play for Ireland or he didn't play for any of our clubs, but for you, Rain, he did play for England. A very famous player as well. All I know him for has been the manager of Newcastle United and Fulham, I think, and Man City, I think. So do you want to say anything on Kevin Keegan first before we get on to the 2 Tottenham players who passed away?
I'm sure and I hope and I'm sure that he'll be getting the best medical attention that someone can get. I mean, it comes for a lot of us, doesn't it? You know, the life sucks, and then the older you get, the more it sucks. Hope, you know, I'm sure we've all been impacted by the Big C in one way or another. We've all had people who we've lost, and certainly have. All the best wishes to Kevin Keegan. I mean, he's remembered for, you know, I love it.
That run.
And I don't. Did you mention that he was England manager?
Yeah.
You did, yeah.
He
Okay.
resigned. I think he resigned after you lost to Germany 1-0 at Wembley, the last ever
He was
game at Old Wembley.
as a professional.
Mm.
He was somebody who wore his heart on
Mm.
his sleeve. He always he played with passion, and he coached and managed with passion as well. He was absolutely he was an incredible professional, both on the pitch and slightly off the pitch. He was an incredible player. People don't realise that he coming through the ranks. He went to Hamburg even
Mm.
in Germany, and he was incredible there. I think he won. Really, I should do my research, but I think he won 2 player of the, player of the European Player of the Year
He did.
awards whilst he was at Hamburg,
Mm.
and he was also part of the great Liverpool side. The great, well, the great series of Liverpool sides in the 70s and 80s. So along with the King, um, 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 he was an incredible player.
He was. And also we lost yesterday, and it was a double blow for Spurs yesterday. We did lose Martin Shivers, and last night, very suddenly, we lost Terry Yorth as well, whose daughter was Gabby Logan, who was in the, I think, about to start match of the day, and they had to bring in, I forget his name now, who was doing the radio show. He did all the Premier League games last, Mark Chapman, and he had to run from one side of the BBC to the other to present match of the day. Look, we did talk a bit about Martin Shivers yesterday, Rain, but Terry Yorth as well played for Spurs between 1979 and 1981. He was a Welsh international, 46 appearances and 1 goal. Not probably a big household name, but for Spurs under that Keith Birkinshaw years, the early years when Birkinshaw was getting the cup winning side ready and the UEFA Cup winning side ready, he was a major part of that rebuild, wasn't he?
I'm going to be brutally honest. I didn't remember that he was a Spurs player. So that goes to show he's not really remembered as being a Spurs player. And I'm sure this will lean into the rest of the show. It didn't take very long for them to release a statement about Martin Shivers, and rightly so. He's absolute legend of the club. But it took them an awful long time to release a statement about Terry Yorth. That's not very respectful. Again, a giant of a player. If not for us, then elsewhere.
Yeah, 75 years of age. He did play for Leeds from 1967 to 76. He made 141 appearances for Leeds and 10 goals. So he was playing for Leeds during the glory years. Did also play for Coventry, Tottenham, Vancouver, Whitecaps, Bradford, and he finished his career in 1986 with Swansea City. He made 59 appearances for Wales and scored 2 goals. He did become a manager as well. And he did manage teams like Swansea City, Wales, Bradford City, Swansea City, Cardiff City, Lebanon. 2 years at Lebanon, Sheffield Wednesday and Margate. But yeah, 2 Tottenham legends have sadly passed. His Terry Yo's honours for Leeds were FA Cup winners runners up, European Cup winners cup runners up. He did win the league title in 73, 74, and he was a European Cup runner up in 74, 75. So two absolute giants of the game. And yeah, Tottenham were very quick to get it out about Mike Shivers, but not about Terry Yorth. Let's welcome some people in, and then we'll start the show. A lot to talk about, Rain, especially we're going to start with the Romero tweet, which is now being redacted and edited, but we will start there. I want to say big shout out to Ollie, Ryan, and LC Spur become new YouTube members. Thank you so much, L Spur, sprinkling a little bit of Vegas on the channel, which we do love. Big up to Rhino. Says big up to Hermo. Enoch need to go. They need to go very, very soon because I realised that they made Levy the damn scapegoat. That is hanged us out, bang out of order. If I say so myself, I don't agree with that, but I know Rain probably. I think you and me might agree on this, Rain. But we will come back to that. Big up to Wayne. Good evening, folks. Hope you're well. I'm not a Frank loyalist. He's certainly an issue at the Spurs, but not the real problem. So my question is in his defence. Big up to Rhino. We can't sleep. We can't keep blaming managers for what had no control in the boardroom. I'm just realising that now. And now I can say thank you, Ange, for the trophy. I was not fully wrong. Wow. That's flip flopping. Big up to you, Ryan. Big up to Ollie. I am joking, Ryan. I'm joking. Big up, Ollie from Sweden, isn't he from, Ryan? It was Sweden, wasn't it? Yeah. Wayne says, right, okay, I'll start that, Wayne, so no problem. Big up David Clark, who's in the chat. Big up to you. Talking about that. I've got news on that as well. And then big up to he says Kevin Keegan's like Harry Kane, then that they're both young age, didn't seem to have the tools to be top players, but both showed character and with hard work, both made it to the top. I want to start on the Romero tweet that was put out last night, Rain, after the game, and also we will talk about Van der Ven and Porro going up to the fans either. But this was it. He says, apologies to all fans who follow us everywhere, who are always there and will continue to be. We are responsible. There is no doubt about that. And there's no doubt about that. And I am the first. But we will keep facing up to it, trying to turn the situation around for ourselves, for the club. At times like this, it should be other people coming out to speak, but they don't. Or as it's been happening for several years now, they only show up when things are going well to tell a few lies. We will stay here, working, sticking together, and giving our all to turn things around, especially at times like this. Keeping quiet, working harder, and moving forward. All together, it's part of football. All together, it will be easier. A few players have liked it. Porro was one. I don't know who was the other. What's your response to that? Especially the bit, they only show up when things are going well to tell a few lies. I mean, is that a dig at the board?
I think this is a player who loves this club. Is my baseline, is where I start. He's not averse to speaking his mind on social media. In fact, he seems to do it once a year. I think it was the summer of 24. He criticised the way that the club managed international travel, and that actually led to a direct change, and for the club to join almost every other Premier League club, and use private planes, which every other Premier League club does, to ferry players around. I think and obviously there was the other famous one in the summer just gone, on the day that Frank was hired, saying about Ange and calling out the board, that everybody said was very disrespectful. He's not afraid to say what he thinks, and I've got time for it. It's awful. It's awful for the club. Let's not beat around the bush. It's not good to air dirty laundry like this.
No,
in way, shape, or form. It's definitely a dig out at the board. 100%. Is it a dig at the board? It certainly can't. It has to be seen as supportive of Thomas Frank. Dermot, we're ahead of the curve, mate. We were talking about how Frank is being let out, is being hung out to dry,
Mm.
and he's answering all of these questions about the club when it should be other people who are coming out. He's being asked about Paratici and so on. In fact, Mr. Romero, Kuti, if you are watching this show, please drop us a like, subscribe, maybe even grab a membership. Because it was shortly after. It was shortly after. They're very, very reasonable. You get an enormous amount of value, and at some points, if you can join the chat, we've got a great community for you to come and speak with.
I'm sending you to Qatar next week to sell this channel to the Qatari prince. You're going. I've decided you're doing a bit for us.
I'm nowhere near as good as Tequila. I couldn't.
I'm sending both of you and Tequila. You're both going.
So he's definitely calling out the board.
Yeah.
He's definitely speaking his mind.
Mm-hmm.
And it has to be seen as somewhat supportive of Frank.
Yeah.
It has to be. Because he's calling out the fact that people are not coming out and speaking and they're letting other people speak. The only person who's speaking regularly is Frank. Mm-hmm. The only person he's looking at Frank and seeing the stress that guy is under. And he wants to do something about it. The sad thing is that, well, I don't know. He got positive result from the international travel social media post. The dig at the board when Frank was signed, that was just a dig. Is he going to get something here? I mean, he's right. He's right. We've been talking about it. There's radio silence.
Yeah, there is. There is radio silence. And when you do look at the quote and you do look at it, said, they only show up when things are going well. Well, that is a dig at the ball because they only show up when we win things. They were there in Bilbao. They weren't there when Andrew was under pressure last year. Where were they? Where were they when Poch needed players? I think it's also a slight dig at Frank as well in a way about the way Frank has been going about things, digging at the fans. And I think QT is well aware how important the fans are to the players. And as captain, I think he needs to take players like Porro into a darkened room somewhere and give them one hell of a lecture on how to treat the fans. Now, abusing a player is not right as long as it's done constructively. That leads me on to Rain about we got QT's response here. We also got this bit of a rumor, and I'm waiting for it to be confirmed. I can only say it's a rumor. Until it's said to me that's 100%, I would treat it as such. So please treat this as I'm still waiting for confirmation. I did ask, but I'm waiting for confirmation. So hopefully we'll get it out in this show or in a future show. And it reads as this: Mickey van der Ven is not interested in signing a new contract at Tottenham Hotspur unless there is a managerial change and clear ambition shown from those above. So basically, he wants Frank out and the players back it, the whole squad back it. Now, do you think it's the senior players now and start to say, hang on a minute, you promised this in the summer, where is it? Do you think the likes with QT now coming out, Mickey van der Ven refusing to sign a new contract, rumored? Do you think do you think this is now going to push the board to do something? Or, as somebody said to me today, is the club already in talks to be sold? and
Yeah,
that's why there's
I'm,
nothing happening.
I'm absolutely clear that the clubs, the
Mm.
problem that we've got is that they want to sell the club, and that takes time. I'm absolutely clear that's the problem. So we're currently in, and when you want to sell an asset, you don't start pouring money into it, and you certainly, if anything, you take a little bit out. You realize some of those profits, those deferred profits, you take it out. So I've thought that for a while. I've thought that for the last 6 months, especially when they got rid of Levy. I was like, everyone's very excited and everyone's talking about the kids taking over, and I was like, I don't. I think other the other things are going on here. So I didn't read Romero's comment about the fans as a dig on Frank, because
No.
I don't think Frank meant it. I think Frank is trying to get the fans on side. He's just doing it in a very clumsy way.
Yeah.
I think Romero's trying to bridge, and that's the thing. That is again. He hasn't been the best player this season. He hasn't, and he does lose his head a little bit.
Mhm.
But this guy clearly loves this club. He really does. He's, it wouldn't. It's very easy to post nothing. It's very easy to go and collect his millions, sit in his very nice house with his lovely family. They look like a lovely family with his nice cars, and not care. But he's cared enough to post that message on social media, or at least authorize it being posted. You never know that, and it's been curated very, very well. So fair play to him. Will it have a positive impact on our club?
Who knows?
Heaven knows. I think, yeah, heaven knows, Dermot. Heaven knows.
Heaven knows. Look, we do have a little bit on Thomas Frank. This was given to me this morning, guys. So this has been confirmed by the people we use. So it's out there that on the board, there has been conversations at board level, but not with Frank and not an emergency meeting. I know last night, I did say this in the player rating show earlier, there was a load of things coming up on next. There's an emergency meeting tonight. There's an emergency meeting tomorrow. I can tell you as I sitting here now, there was no emergency meeting last night, and there's no emergency meeting today. There was a meeting at board level, but without Frank. So all them talks of Frank was called into a meeting last night, or there was an emergency meeting today at Hotspur Way with Frank, not true. There was a meeting, but it wasn't an emergency meeting. Look, I want to go down. We've got a few questions, but I want to go on to this point as well on the board. We've had the same board for 25 years, right? And Yumi had the disagreement earlier on in the start of the season about the protests. Should they happen or shouldn't they happen? And we changed for Tottenham. They wound up a little bit, said, okay, we're going to give the new guys a chance. We had the statement the other day that's coming out. And I personally myself, I thought change for Tottenham missed the trick and they should have kept going in some way, shape, or form. They should have kept the pressure on. Now, I feel with the pressure off, I think Enoch have said, okay, then protests have gone away. We've got rid of the problem because Levy's gone, and we can get on with running the football club how we see fit. Do you feel like I do that change for Tottenham and as good as they were, that there should be protests as from this weekend? Some sort of protest against the ownership. We are day 8 into the window. Should there be something done this in the next few days? Should change for Tottenham say, right, we're going to do something this weekend? Or do you think they have to wait to the end of the window before they do anything? And I know you know Billy, and I hope you did reach out to Billy, and I hope we can sort the Billy to come on. But do you think that
I don't know
that's
Billy
what,
well. I've just chatted in.
yeah. But do you feel Yeah. Do you feel that we're now on the verge of them starting their protests again?
I'm not sure there's the energy for it. If
Seriously?
I'm brutally honest, I think
Seriously?
people are tired. I think people are tired. I think
But
people
that
are
means
tired.
tired of what? Tired of what? The club, how it's broken, how there's no connection between the fans and the players or the manager or the board. We've got the Paratici situation happening. You said it yesterday that the club are being run. It's like headless chicken. The loonies are running the asylum. If to put it into my jargon, sort of thing. Why wouldn't change for top? They would get so much momentum around them if they were to come out with doing a protest Saturday. I think you would get more people. They would gain more momentum now than they did when they were protesting against Levy at the time.
Some of these people have been protesting for like 7-8 years.
Yeah.
That's that's why some of these people have been out there protesting. The Brian Daigle. I know he's not part of Change for Tottenham, but he's been protesting for a long time, and it takes its toll. So heaven knows, and I don't know what type of impact it would have. What we absolutely need is another 2, 3, whatever it was, 5,000 fan march down the high street, but you're not getting that until the summer. You're not getting that on a cold January Sunday or Saturday. You're just not. So it's I think it needs to be given a little bit of time. Personally, there does need to be engagement with the board and with Vinay. But it does, and things do need to get better. Let's face it. It's in their interests, because the way that the club is going, they're turning. Somebody said earlier to me when I was chatting with somebody earlier. So they're turning a 4 billion club into a 2 billion club really quickly.
Yeah, they are. Big up to Martin Wood. He says clearly Levy was not the problem. Well, we all know that he was part of the problem, but never the full problem. The owners do not and never will have the ambition to move the stuff. Martin, I agree with you 100%. Look, when Levy resigned or sacked or whatever it was, I said that day that it's half the problem gone. The full problem hasn't gone. And I also did say that day that when we were protesting, it was Levy out, Enoch out. And everyone is entitled to their opinion. We're going to give the new lads, the new faces time. We're going to give them a summer. We're going to give them a winter and the summer. I'm sorry, there's no change. We're on the verge of bringing in a 19-year-old. I mean, are we running a creche or are we running a football club? We have an injury crisis that is unreal. We know Kulu today is not coming back anytime soon. He's had injections on his knee. We won't know for another 4 to 5 weeks if that's worked. We know Solanke might be back soon. We know Destiny Udogie might be back soon. But we need reinforcements. We've got no right winger. What are we supposed to do?
Kudus is out till April.
Yeah, at the earliest.
Yeah, so that's the season. Kulu's out for the season.
Yeah.
Solanke, heaven knows.
Udogie, season.
Yeah, Maddison's out for the season. Udogie, I saw a picture of Udogie going to training, and in that picture, that still picture of him walking, my brain is looking for a limp in a still picture. Yeah, because that's what I think of when I see Udogie. Where we we urgently need somebody at the club to do something.
Yeah.
And there was. Do you remember yesterday? There was somebody who said it's been 7 days. It's only been 7 days.
Yeah.
It's been a whole 7 days, and nothing's happened.
I know.
I'll turn it around on you. It's been a whole 7
Look,
days.
look, I read this in my head, right? And I meant to write it down, but it's still in my head. And I wrote on the computer. I was on the computer today or yesterday. I was looking up information on the show, and I was dawdling, just typing stuff into Google, right? And I put into the AI, what is Tottenham Hotspur Football Club? And it came back with Tottenham Hotspur Football Club are a football club. They're a brand. That Tottenham Hotspur is unique. You've got Cities, United, Rovers, but you've only got one Tottenham Hotspur. They play with a brand of football that gained fans around the world. They play exciting attacking football. Tottenham are not like anyone else. Tottenham are unique. I think we've lost our identity of who we were. If you said to somebody now, what's Tottenham Hotspur? Or that's that team that's down in 14th place that's got an idiot of a manager and players wanting to fight their own fans, with owners that don't spend, with owners that don't show ambition. You think of Bill Nick. If Bill Nick was alive, seeing the club that he built, he's looking at Tottenham now, it will break his heart. Arthur Rowe as well. John Cameron, who starred in the 1901 FA Cup side. Do you know, many people of the past looking at Spurs now. Tottenham is not this swashbuckling to dare is to do club that it used to be. Tottenham now is that will do. We're not swashbuckling, we're limping. The cockerel's in the corner, dying a death because it's not being fed properly or it's not getting the energy it needs. And as much as people want to praise Enoch, they have led to the downfall of this mighty football club. We're now reduced to being grateful just to get one or two players in the summer or window. We've been reduced to watching this beloved club suffer and just stagger on from one crisis to another. We have a board that doesn't care if we buy a good player. They don't care about the fans. All they care about is their next investment or their next bit of paycheck they're going to get. We've got some players that don't care about the football club. Some players do, but the majority of them don't. Tottenham Hotspur is not a football club anymore. Tottenham Hotspur is a business. Tottenham Hotspur is a brand. Tottenham Hotspur is where you want to find Beyonce or the latest boxing matches or go and drive the latest go-karts or go on the skywalk. Tottenham Hotspur is not a football club anymore. Where's the Bill Nicks? Where's the Arthur Rose? Where's the Jimmy Greaves? Where's the Steve Perrimans? Where's the Graham Roberts? Where's the Gary Mabbotts of this world? We're not a football club. We're beyond a football club. We used to be a football club, and they used to be sitting over there. Keith Birkinshaw told us that back in '84. I don't know where we go from here, but one thing I do know is we need our club back, and we don't have our club back. It's down to us to get the club back. When it was COVID, they said, we don't need fans. Why do we need fans? Well, you do need fans because it's the fans that bring the passion, the atmosphere, the money into a football club. And that is what makes Tottenham Hotspur the greatest club in the world, because we're unique, we're different, and we're not like all the others. But we are like all the others now. We've lost our uniqueness. We've lost our identity. And Enoch need to go, and they need to go now. If we want to be like the phoenix of the flames and the phoenix rises from the flames again, that has to be done under new owners.
So what I would definitely say is I think Bill Nick would not have been afraid to tell fans who were hurling abuse at our players that they were doing the wrong thing. So when Mickey van der Ven goes over to a fan who is hurling abuse at him, I think that is in the spirit of the club. If I'm brutally honest,
Mhm.
I'm not shy when I go to watch football. I will say it again. I've said it before on stream. Was famously shushed by Hugo Lloris personally because I was yelling at them to push up.
What did you say to get him to shush you?
I
Or was it non-repeatable live on air?
there were some expletives, but I can also be quite loud, and I'm not. I'm about 20. I'm 20 odd rows back from behind the goal, but I can certainly make myself heard, and it I certainly did make myself heard, but it wasn't abuse. It was strong advice.
Mm.
But you know that Mickey van der Ven is responding to someone hurling abuse at him. Not do better. Not what are you playing at? Abuse. You know it. 99% certainty. And it was singling one person out. And it's up to us as fans to make sure that that things are done absolutely, Brian, 100%. But it has to be done in the right way. We should not personally abuse anybody. That's not right. It you can boo, but in my opinion, personal abuse is the red line that I don't think anybody else should cross. And we all have red lines. We all have red lines in society that we don't think other people should cross. And if you don't, you're a psychopath. So just have a think about it. There are absolutely red lines that we all think people should not cross. And the one for me is personal abuse. Don't think it's right. Romero, I think, is trying to bridge. But coming back to the theme of the show, I think we have got a bit of a fallout from Ange's us against them, and the us was the dressing room, and the them was everybody else, including the fans. So I do think we've got a bit of a fallout from that, and Frank's comments about the fans are definitely not worse than Ange calling out fans for not being that bothered that we drew with Man City. That meant that, and saying I don't understand it. A Celtic manager saying that he didn't understand why fans weren't bothered that our result meant that Arsenal weren't going to win the league. Come on, mate. That's it. It beggars belief. It's carrying through, and it needs Dermot. It needs somebody of the Bill Nix stature to drag our club out of the mire that it's currently in. I think I'm gonna nominate Stand Up Dermot of THFC till we die. Get into that stadium and lead our club to greatness. That's what I say. I'm going to nominate you to go.
Look, I'm grateful. I'm very humbled that you think that I could be that person. Personally, I don't think I am, but I'm very grateful that you think I am. Look, for me, it's the love of the club, isn't it? You love your football. You love your family. That's number one. Number one in your life is your partner, your wife, your children, your family. They're number one. But your second love in your life is your football club. A football club where you were brought to as a little boy by your dad to the games, where you were brought up into that. You followed that club. You, as a kid, you wanted the latest kit, and you were upset when we lost, and you were happy when we won. And Bill Nick for me is what we need to get back to that Bill Nick style of what a football club was about. I've got no problem. I agree with you that players should not be abused. I agree with that. But in this way, I put it in this
personal abuse is what I'm saying.
I agree. Yeah. I agree. Also, I don't agree with you booing during the game either at a player. Before, after the game, or halftime, or after the game, I think you fill your boots, but not during the game. But I think the fans are frustrated because there's only been 7 wins out of the last 22 in all competitions. We're now only 2 wins out of the last 12 in the Premier League. We're sitting 14th. Yes, we're only 5 points off 5th, but we're also only 6 points off 17th. We're lucky that the teams below us are playing absolutely rubbish, that we're not down there in a relegation fight. It only came to me today, Rain, and maybe David Clark's the one that can answer this for me. Do you remember when Tottenham went through their sort of dip in the mid-70s to when we did get relegated? And then we had this we started coming up, didn't we, again in the late 70s, early 80s. I think Tottenham are on this dip now where we're in free fall. That we're an absolute free fall. And if we're not lucky, if we're unlucky, we might be dragged into a relegation fight. If not this season, definitely next season. This has turned out to be the biggest year in Tottenham's history, in my opinion. Who is the Bill Nick for you? Would Harry Redknapp fit that bill? If Tottenham said, right, Harry, you come back in and we're going to make you, I don't know, a bridge between the player, the team and the fans, or the bridge between the manager and the board. Do you think that might work? Something like that? Because it has to be repaired. We are broken in so many ways. So we have to start repairing ourselves. How does Harry Redknapp come into that reckoning? Bring him in as a bridge. Because everyone loves Harry. And his sponge rolls. Yeah, and he's roly-poly. That's it.
Yeah, he's roly-poly, yeah. Harry Redknapp isn't doing that job.
No. Who is that? Who would? Who would you have in?
Genuinely, I'm sorry, but I know that people may not like this. I'm getting ready.
Do not say Judas.
No. Is it worse than? Is that worse than what I'm about to say?
I don't know what you're going to say.
I genuinely think.
Lawyers know? Do I need to email my lawyers? Am I all right? Do I need them on standby?
I think you and me are going to have another falling out. I think.
Okay, go on.
I genuinely think that with the right backing, with the right support, I think Thomas Frank actually is the right person.
Fair.
I just don't think he's got the right support. I think he is isolated. He is completely cut loose, and he has no support in that club to navigate the stormy waters that we're currently in. I mean, when you look at our injury list, Ange had an injury list. You look at our injury list; it's absolutely shocking. People are like, "Why are we not playing attacking football? We ain't got any players." And the ones that we do, who's our best striker, Dermot? Who's the best striker at this club? Fit striker at this club?
Dean Scarlett.
You've got a choice of Moani, Richarlison, Scarlett.
I would have to say Scarlet because I can't stand the other two.
Do you see where I'm coming from?
Yeah.
I mean, it's absolutely what. How has Tottenham Hotspur Football Club of Lineker, Klinsmann, Sheringham, Robbie Keane, Berbatov, Harry Kane? How has this club got to the? Do you know what? I'd take Chris Armstrong right now, right?
Yeah.
Clive Allen. How has this club got to the point where our best striker is probably Richarlison and a guy who's on loan and has barely managed 3 shots in 500 minutes? How have we got to this point? And that's not Frank. That's not Frank's fault. No. It's absolutely it's absolutely terrible. It's negligence of the highest order that we've got.
There you go. There's our leading goal scorer. 7 goals in Richie. I mean, Van der Ven's up there with 3. Tails with 3, and Romero's in there with 2.
Shocking. Absolutely shocking.
Massive big up the column there. Big up to your column. Hope you're doing well, bud. Look, it brings me on to my second point, right, about Tottenham. And you look at Manchester United, and I was saying this to Colin today that I sent him the title of the show. I said, a club that's broken. And his response to me was, I know how you feel. Because if you look at Manchester United, they're going through the same. Their fans are having the same conversation we're having about their football club. How far? I look at it, right, and I look at Tottenham, and I look how excited we can be. We've got a fantastic stadium. We've got a fantastic training ground. Tequila said it to me the other day. He said, Dermot, they have a great body, but there's no soul. I always say it. When I went to White Hart Lane, I felt the spirit of Bill Nick and Arthur Rowe in that stadium. Always did. I couldn't explain it. I couldn't tell you how I felt it, but I felt it. I felt there was something there. The Bill Nick spirit went around White Hart Lane. You could look on that pitch and thought the great 61 double played on there. The 8 Glenn Hoddle graced this field. Gaza did. Do you know, Terry Dyson bombing up the ring. Tony Galvin doing the same in the 80s. You had Chrissy Waddle doing the same. You had Rule Fox back in the 90s and Andy Sinton, Chris Armstrong, Teddy Sheringham. And you go to the new stadium, as lovely as it is, there's no soul. There's nothing. It doesn't have the White Hart Lane feel. And yet somebody say, yes, once you win something, it will feel like home. It doesn't. It doesn't. I know you go every game, Rain. I go once or twice a year.
I think that's the major difference there, Dermot.
Yeah. But do you understand
if I'm brutally honest?
You go to White Hart Lane and you saw the history that was there. You felt the history. I don't
have that same nostalgic feel about White Hart Lane, because I also remember having to climb 5 flights of stairs that were relatively rickety with breeze blocks, very, very, very little concessions in the concourse. There being, unless you were in the expensive seats, there was no kind of refreshments. In fact, when we went to Wembley, the concourses at Wembley were like, wow, this is amazing. You can actually get something to eat and drink here, because at White Hart Lane it was never like that. The queuing up to get through those turnstiles. I see where you're coming from, but progress has to move forwards. And honestly, I love the stadium. I love going to the stadium. And I remember Sonny's goal against Burnley. I remember, I remember smashing Arsenal 3-0. I remember, I've had lots of moments in that stadium that are fantastic. I was there at the parade outside the stadium. I wish we'd gone in. So it's not the stadium is not the problem. The problem is that the people who are running our club are not running it well.
Yeah. They're not running it at all, right? They're not running it at all. There's no desire there, is there? And do you know what? I've always said it. You could people slate Alan Sugar, right? Calling him a really bad owner. I'm sorry that he cared. He did care. He did put his money in where his mouth was. Not always didn't get it right. Do you remember when we got 9 points deducted, banned from the FA Cup? And what was it? Yeah, 9 points deducted, 12 points deducted, banned from the FA Cup. He fought all the way to January to prove a point. Just to make a point to the FA. Hang on a minute. We gave you that information. So how can you ban it when it was under a different ownership? And we freely give you that ownership. He did say to the FA man at the time, he did point his finger and goes, "You're fired." But Alan Sugar gets a bad rep, but Ivan Scholar doesn't. Do you know what I mean? And I can remember as an 11, 12-year-old, 10, 11-year-old, thinking, have I got a football team to support in the morning? And I remember being really upset. Because you remember it was like on the news at 10, wasn't it? Or back in them days. What was it? News at 6, news at 6, wasn't it? Or there definitely was a news at 10, Trevor McDonald back in the day. And every night it was Tottenham as meeting with new ownership. There's a new meeting between Terry Venables and Alan Sugar and the club. I don't want today's fans to go through that. But we're not going through anything with this ownership. And I just feel the heart and soul of this club's been ripped apart and just ripped apart till there's no heart and soul left. All it is a money-making machine for the ownership. It's a cash cow. And that's what it is. That's what we've been brought down to. We're a cash cow. We're their cash cow. Because to know people like you and me are going to go every week. Do you know people like you are going to buy your season tickets every year? They know people are going to go and spend thousands in the club shop. Do you know people are going to come and use the go-kart track or come to the concerts or go to the boxing or go to the NFL? I've got no problem with that as long as the money's pumped back into the football club. But we have owners that are so out of step with what Tottenham fans want. And all I want is a team that is successful and plays good, attracting football, and the manager is backed. And we buy decent players for the manager. That's all I want. I don't want a lot. And I think you'd be the same, wouldn't you?
I don't think they need to give us what we want. What they're currently doing is devaluing their asset. So, there's this very, student of politics and economics, and it's well known. It's well worn. Its history shows us that extreme socialism leads to decline. Why is that? Because you don't get investment in the future. That's what capitalism does. In fact, that's what capitalism is all about. It's about investing to get a return. They're not currently investing. In fact, that's what the Glazers did to Manchester United. They absolutely they stripped it. They didn't invest. They just stripped. So, and then you look down the road at Man City. Heaven, for crying out loud! Look at what Abramovich did to Chelsea. But for all you want to say about Abramovich as a person, how he got his money, what I don't know what kind of a person he is, or anything about that. But what he did for Chelsea was invest heavily in that club and make sure that when it earned money, it was reinvested in a good way. He got good people, competent people to actually do the work for him. Man City, they do the same. Newcastle look to be doing the same. Brighton, Broome at Brighton is doing the same. Brentford do the same. We are an incredibly rich club, but the investment in our club is not being handled properly on our behalf.
Yeah. And it is our behalf. It is our behalf. And I just don't know where we go. Look, I do agree with Simon Jordan. Brian says it here as well. Big up to James Richard. He says, what time to become a Tottenham Hotspur new ownership is necessary, most definitely.
Yes.
Brian says Simon Jordan seems to think ENIC will sell, but I can't say it. I think they will be sold. We've got Martin just saying about Defoe when you're going through the strikers. Brian, bring your ex-backs. Great decision. That's about Pochettino. Southgate. No, just no. Sorry, Brian. Like you and all, man, but just no. He says, I remember Spurs getting relegated in the late 70s. See, there has been worse. We have seen worse. Big up to Mick Harmerlock as well. I hope you and your missus are all right, and I hope you're feeling okay, Mick. Big up to you. Shall we talk a bit about transfers, Brian? Shall we talk a bit about what's happening in the...
I do hope that ENIC are selling this club. I really do, because you say it, we are massive, and we are massive. And with competent leadership and good investment, this club will fly.
It will.
Absolutely.
Who do you want as new owners?
I
Seriously,
don't care.
though.
I just want them to be competent. I can't.
Okay,
I can't pick Dermot. I can't pick.
No.
I'm not. You're asking me a question. What are the three biggest companies in the world? You know, we don't know.
Let me rephrase that then. Let me rephrase it then. Who would be the best people to run the football club? Who would be? Do you think, right, you've got three options, haven't they? They've got Middle East, which we know. They've got the NFL route, which they could go down. Or there's the American ownership. Now, we know the Canadian rights haven't been sold yet. Do you think I think that's going to be part of selling the football club. A bit like Arsenal did with the Emirates, wasn't it? A little bit the same as that. So if you're looking into your crystal ball, which is best for Tottenham Hotspur? America or oil money? What's best for the club?
I think people need to get this idea. You know, I see Rhino, you've just said oil money. It doesn't work like that.
No,
it doesn't. You're not getting oil money. It's those that's been locked.
Look at Newcastle.
Newcastle are the richest club in the richest sports club in the world. Okay, and they can't buy players. No. So let's be right, and they can't keep a hold of their best player. So that's not going to help. What we need is competence. We need competent administrators who understands. Yeah, but Man City. There's a reason with what happened with Man City, mate. Yeah, and that was ages ago. That was 20 years ago, and since then, what Man City did has been locked down, and currently Man City are under have been through a court process because of it. What Man City really did was apply competence. They got the right people. They got Tzigzy Bergestein, whatever his name is, and he is from Barcelona, really, really competent administrator. They got competent people to run the club. They built a multi-club ownership model to feed Man City as the main club. They were competent, right? Yes, we don't have FP problems, so we don't need money. We don't need investment. We just need somebody to spend our money properly. Is my point. We just rather than waste 100 million on Tell, Odobert, and Johnson, spend 90 million on a good player who's actually is gonna be competent. We That's what we need. I don't care. I do worry about the Americans because the growing influence of America in the Premier League is not a good thing because they will Americanize it. So if you're giving me all those routes, then I would take I would take a consortium from the Middle East.
Do you know what? I would probably have to agree with you on that. I don't want the Americans involved in this football club. One iota. I mean, firstly, just look what the Glazers have done to Manchester United. Firstly, I mean, secondly, Levy's tied us into this NFL contract for the next 10 years, which I didn't think. I don't think it was the right thing for the football club, but he thought it's a great business deal, and I don't think it is. And I do agree with you that you look at Newcastle, the richest club in the world, they can't spend half what they want to spend. They can't do that because of the rules. The rules were put in there to stop the teams like Man City doing that, and Man City were doing that. So the rules were put in there. Right, we're going to stop you. If I'm being honest, I'm probably with you. I'm more likely with probably Qatari, was somewhere that the stadium rights could be built into it as well. I think with the stadium rights name, I would love a nod back to maybe the WHL stadium sponsored by, I don't know, it can't be Emirates because of Qatari Air, but some nod back to what that stadium is built on. Maybe a nod back. Statues need to be put up. We need statues of Bill Nick and players like that. We need to start calling the South Stand the Bill Nick Stand, or name the stands after previous managers.
I think that would go a long way. I think gestures like, if they really want to do something, right? Yeah. Then I think you're right. I think look, this is why you'd be perfect, Dermot, because a gesture like that would have such a profound impact on the fans. To have a stand named after Bill Nick, it absolutely would. You're bang on.
Isn't it his birthday soon? I think it is Bill Nick's birthday soon. If you are wondering, it is 0-0 at the Highbury. The Emirates, 0-0 between Arsenal and Liverpool. What else would you do history-wise for the owners to do history-wise? Because I do feel also that they've forgotten our history, and we do have a rich history. It's actually his birthday this month, on the 26th of January this month, which is Monday, the last Monday in January. So we will do something special. We will do a Bill Nick special that day. We will celebrate Bill Nick's life. Look, I think there's more to come for this, Rain. I think there's a lot more to come out of this. I think there's a lot more to come out with Thomas Frank as well. I think if we lose on Saturday, that's going to be very telling where the club go. We're at the crossroads. I think we are at the crossroads of our history and where we're going. So if we lose Saturday, where do you think the board will go?
On holiday, somewhere Bahamas. Is the Bahamas? No, the Bahamas going to be. It's not going to be nice and warm. I think they're going to go somewhere nice. I don't think anything's happening. I think the board are AWOL. I tell you what else. I know that they're scared about. I know that they're scared about putting statues up because it's become a multi-event stadium. So it's not just a football stadium. It's not just Tottenham Hotspur. It's got all these events that happen in it. But we are the root, the lifeblood of that stadium. Without us, it falls over like a tree without roots. So if they are worried about statues, do you know what is an easy solution? The concourse is big. So hang statues. Have a statue of Sonny
Or
hanging from
tifos.
the. Pardon?
Hang tifos a lot from the
Uh,
ceiling down. So
I've got this picture of a bronze statue and it being sort of suspended in midair so that
what
people
happens if it
can
falls on somebody's
so,
head?
so that people can see it. Well, it wouldn't. It wouldn't. It would be very. Yes. You'd have to make sure that doesn't happen. Absolutely,
It will
100%.
fall on my bloody head. I will go to the
just
stadium, you guarantee. As soon as I walk into the stadium, this Sonny statue will fall out of nowhere and straight on my noggin. I mean, you know
I tell
that's
you
bound
what.
to happen.
Well, I'm not going to disagree. I tell you what, Simon Cohen. Maybe not the Donald Trump, but and I know he's a polarizing figure. But can you imagine? Can you imagine if Elon Musk decided to buy our club and name it I would give him the SpaceX Stadium. I would still call it White Hart Lane, but I would concede that he could rename it the SpaceX Stadium.
I'll be back in a minute, right? Just
Okay. So I do think that there's you do hope that they're gonna do some things, but I agree with everybody in chat. Unfortunately, I can't manage chat, but I think we do need new ownership. I think that's just where we are, and the hope is that is what's happening currently in the football club, because we aren't going to get relegated this season. I think I can say that with a high degree of certainty, and that hopefully this is the lowest we get. Hopefully we get sold, and then in the summer it all takes off. I do think that we need to try to stay together.
Yeah,
we need to realise that we're all in this together. The players, the fans, Frank, I think is in this together. It's not, the more them and us, the more of us there are to battle against them, the stronger we'll be. So I'll tell you what, how about us includes the fans, the players, Frank, who's clearly, not being given what he needs against Enoch. I don't care.
Yeah. Well, that's a good idea. SpaceX Stadium, so I can send most of these players to Mars on the front of the rocket. There is actually a moon launch on the 5th of February or the 6th of February to go around the moon. Maybe we can stick a few of them players on that and leave them there. Just drop them off onto Mars. I'm big up to you, Tequila. Hope you're doing well, bud. Hope you are doing well, and I hope you're feeling better. They're more useful on a hair shield than a football pitch, fam. Yeah, they are. They really are. We need you back. We need your Simon Jordan views on the channel, and I hope you're watching a bit of Simon Jordan. I need you to tell me, do you agree with him? I think somehow you would.
Enjoy your break. Enjoy your sabbatical, mate. Enjoy your break.
Yeah, enjoy.
As soon as you're ready, you're coming back, and we're gonna work you. We're gonna work you hard. Yeah.
No, we're not. We're gonna. He's the Bill Nick of the. He's the Bill Nick of the channel. He's like Lord. He's Lord Tequila. He's above Lord Porro of Totteridge. This is Lord Tequila of Bedford. That's for him.
Did we do? Have we done transfers?
You what?
Have we done transfers?
No, we're going to do them now. Right. This is the transfer. Now, this news is moving quite quickly because it is to do with Sousa, the left back from Santos. Tottenham Hotspur have actively pushed on the deal in the last few days. A bid has gone in and talks with Santos are ongoing. Player is open to the move and sees Spurs as a step up. Sticking point is a fee structure, not desire. Spurs see him as an immediate depth with upside, especially with your doggy situation. High. This is a high chance of working between 65 to 70%. And look, I have read, and I did actually was watching. I have got the Santos team on the other monitor. He's been left out the squad tonight for Santos. He's not playing. So that tells me then he did ask to be left out. He has been left out. I think this deal is very imminent that I could be on at 1 a.m. with breaking news that Tottenham have got their first player in of the transfer window. I know he's 19 and we're sick of getting kids in, and I'm sick of doing it. But apparently he's going to be used as a sort of not an upgrade, but as a backup to your doggy. I'm happy with that. Are you?
No, not.
No.
I'm not even
I'm
1%. If I round
it's
down, it's if I round down, it's 0% happy. It's I don't care if. Well, I do care. Obviously I would love him to become a superstar, but the harsh reality of the fact these are the facts. He's 19 years old. He's never played for the international team. He's played 24. Count them. 24 professional games. 24 times he's played. Right? That's less than a full season. Right? It's probably less than half a season if you include cup games. And we're bringing him in to be a backup in the first team. This epitomizes the problem with our club. It's absolutely. I'm sorry, Dermot.
I agree.
And let's be clear. Let's be clear. He's 19 years old. I'm old enough to be his granddad, right? I'm old enough to be his granddad. So I'm going to say this, yeah? A 19-year-old kid coming from the other side of the world. I bet you he doesn't speak English. Yeah? Mm-hmm. I bet you he doesn't speak English. Or he doesn't speak really, really good English. Let me put it that way. He's coming from the other side of the world to a new culture, new country, new club, new climate, new everything, and we expect a 19-year-old kid to step up. I mean, that's to be honest, that's wrong for me. It's almost abusive.
Yeah, it shows where we are in the transfer market that this is the biggest news we're going for. This is the one that might happen. A 19-year-old from Brazil, where we know we need a striker. We know, look, Vlahovic is there for 20 million on a 6 months contract, right? Jonathan Davids we can go and get. We got 400 million. Let's spend some of this money.
Yeah.
Honest to God, but look, that's latest. But look, that's the one that may be announced, I think, soon. Personally, but just
somebody told me earlier he's really, really good on Football Manager. I think I rest my case.
Yeah, I've got a question after we've gone through the transfer rumours. I've got a question about Paratici at the end of this, so I will ask you this. Also, look, me and Tequila love a bit of Conor Gallagher. We really love a bit of Conor Gallagher. Every window there's Conor Gallagher news, and me and Tequila get so excited about it. I think ever since Tequila joined the channel, this has come up in every This is my 7th window. No, is it 7th window? Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, this is my 9th window on running this channel, right? 9th, right? And Conor Gallagher's been part of 6 of them. Says everything we need to know. Anyway, Tottenham Hotspur like the profile a lot. Energy press, resistance, Premier League proven. Internal discussions held on whether to become a loan plus an option or permanent. Atletico Madrid open to talks. If terms are right, depends on sales and budget. Likelihood medium 45 to 50%. Hell no. So I'm giving this. Do I want it to happen? 0. Do I think it will happen? 9. Over to you.
Yeah, I'd take him.
Do you want it to happen?
I wanted to have better than Conor Gallagher, but I would take Conor Gallagher.
Okay.
We're absolutely desperate.
Yeah.
For players when I'm not desperate. The main problem I've got with Sousa is that I just think the risks of him being effective for us are incredibly high. I just think he just won't be effective for us. Certainly not this season. Maybe not next. I think it will. He's one. If anything, he's one for the future. Right? 2 or 3 seasons. Conor Gallagher, I would expect to be able to play tomorrow for Tottenham Hotspur and to know how to do the role. And right here, right now, we need a player like that. I don't really get this because, as far as I'm aware, he's a regular at Atletico Madrid. It's not like, oh, he is right. So he is a regular at Atletico Madrid. He's a pretty good player. Yeah, he's not. He's just an engine, and we need an engine. Is he the engine that we need? No. We need a ball playing central midfielder. We're not getting one, and we need somebody with experience and a head on their shoulders.
Yeah.
He's not the player I want. He's a player that I'd take, though, damn it.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, I agree. Big up. It says get Harry Wilson from Fulham too. That's not a bad shout. Give me Tony at the on loan. That ain't gonna happen, Ryan, because of the tax implications of him coming back to England. Because I think if you have to stay out of England for 3 years,
2.
Something to do with the tax, isn't it?
It's 2.
2. Okay.
But yes.
I thought it was 2. Yeah. Palunia. This one is misunderstood. Externally, I've been told no January move expected. Spurs are assessing whether to activate the postseason option. Bayern Munich open to clarity, but not pushing. Decision later in the season, not now. Likelihood January, low 10%. I think this is a mistake. Sign them and sign them now.
Agree. I think they're not signing him because of his age, and I think I agree with you. I think it's a mistake. I think you get this player in the club. I think if they delay, surely he can agree a contract with some other club, even though he's on loan to us. So all we're doing is increasing the risk that we don't get this. We don't get this player. I prefer to keep him than Bentancur.
How would you feel about a Højbjerg Palunia double pivot?
Yeah, I never understood the Højbjerg.
I didn't either. There is rumours that Tottenham are looking to bring him back. I wouldn't be against that, if I'm being honest. I think he would come in. He'd do a better job than Bentancur. That is for sure. That is hell sure he'd do a better job than Bentancur. So that's Palunia. Then we've got Vonderson, for right back from Monaco. Internal exploratory contract only this stage, as Monaco would demand a strong fee mid-season. Spurs weighing whether a right back is a January or a summer priority. Not dead, but not advanced. Likelihood low, medium, 25 to 30%. Look, I think we've got other options we need to fill this window. I think this one can be left to the summer, if I'm being honest. I think we have got enough cover there with Jed Spence and Porro both right-footed. So there's your cover. It's the left side we need covering, but I think we need a midfielder and we need a winger and we need a striker. So I think we've got this one for me. This can stay for a summer window.
Yep.
We have to stop agreeing on these transfers all the time, Ray. We have to stop.
I don't think we have.
No, I don't think we have actually. And also, we've got this little bit of a nugget. There is a discussions internally about adding a versatile winger inside forward after Johnson's departure. I mean, firstly, why they never thought about doing it before the sold Johnson? Why about a week after Johnson has been sold to Crystal Palace? Hang on, lads. It's a bit like Michael Caine in the back of the truck at the end of the Italian job. The gold's going out the back of the thing, and you got Charlie and Viv Lewis holding Vinay by the bootstraps, right by the legs, and Vinay looking at him. He says, "Hang on, lads. I think I've got a plan." You know, is that ridiculous? I mean, why they never thought of it? But that's the board for you. Market, I hate this. Market is difficult. Could end up as a loan deal late in the window if injuries persist. Opportunities, no primary target yet. Likelihood, medium, 40%. I mean, this is. I think if you want to know what Tottenham's transfer policy is in January, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Tottenham Hotspur's transfer policy in a nutshell. I mean, it's even done rain to silence.
I mean, this makes no sense.
Yeah.
This again, they're sleepwalking in us into mediocrity. They're by letting whoever it is, and I'm looking at you, Johan Lang, go and buy us a 19-year-old, I nearly said 9-year-old, a 19-year-old left back from the other side of the world. And yet the main problem that we've actually got, which is, attacking forwards, we're only thinking about it. It's just, come on. Go and get Jonathan David. Everybody knows that he doesn't want to be there anymore. Just go and get him. Just go and get him.
Yeah. I totally agree. Tequila says he doesn't want any players, and he's been quite consistent on this, really, saying if we're not going to back this manager, then what's the point of buying players for him? And I understand that, and I think it's a very good point. And also, Tequila says he wants a new club. I think we all want a new club. We want new owners. Yes, we do. Big up the Carl that says we're 15th at best. Then they are stupid enough to think we don't need multiple midfielders. I know, Carl. I know it's ridiculous. Look, I want to end on this a bit on Paratici. We have talked about it, Rain, and you have said that because the club's a bit rudderless at the moment, that there's nobody doing nothing. Is Paratici out of the picture completely? Is it only Lang that's working for Spurs? And I know Thomas Frank said, oh, Paratici is working, Fabio's working, Johan's working, Vinay's working very hard. But it's the usual BS, isn't it? It's the usual line that gets put out. When do you think we'd hear about Paratici's departure? Because I think that will happen.
I mean, it's got to be real. It has to be real. There's too much noise for it not to be real. Unless Don Fabio is going to win, and if Don Fabio wins, we will know because Lang will leave. I'm absolutely certain. He wants to he wants to be the boss, and he'd prefer to be big fish in a small Fiorentina pond than a small fish in a Tottenham pond. So, and I totally understand that. So, heaven knows. I think it's all, politics. I hate politics. I hate office politics. It's why I steer well clear of it. I don't care for it.
I get it. I mean, the killer did say here, and very rightly so. He says Paratici is working hard to get some new players for Fiorentina, and I think he is. I think he is working for Fiorentina more than he is for Tottenham. Look, guys, we're going to leave it there. a bit of a somber show, really. A little bit of a somber show. Nothing, not its usual upbeat energy that we normally bring, but I think it was a conversation that had to be had. When we're looking back at this in 5 years' time, when Tottenham are successful and winning games and winning trophies and we're under new ownership, do you think we look back at this in 5 years' time and think, God, we needed to go through that time as players and fans to really appreciate what we do have? Because at the moment, fans are separated, team is separated, the players don't want the fans don't like the players, the club don't like the fans don't like the clubs. The ownership has gone AWOL. A manager's there, nobody around him on his own. Do you think we're gonna do you think we're gonna look well in 5 years' time and think, wow, we've done well there?
We've actually been quite. I know that people aren't going to want to hear this. We've actually been quite fortunate. When you look at what Everton have been through, when you look at West Ham have been relegated, Villa have been relegated. You look at these clubs that, yes, you got your Liverpools. You look at Man City. You look at Manchester United and what they've been through. Yeah, and back to your comment earlier, Dermot, about Manchester United fans, talk like this. So did that lot down the road, West Ham. We're not the only ones who are talking about the ownership and about the way things are going. And that, I mean, the other day against Forest, that West Ham stadium was easily half empty, and it's more obvious there because it's got white seats. So there's just these blanket white patches all over, swathes of white throughout the whole stadium. So there's a bit of a malaise, and there is hope, and the hope is us fans and our passion.
Yeah,
and the with the right people, this club will be great. This club will be great again. It will, absolutely 100%. It will. But we can't do it. We can only encourage it.
Yeah, that is it. That's all we can do, isn't it? That's all we can do. Before we go, guys, I know I haven't done it for a while, but I do want to bring up the fantasy league and who's winning where and who's in what place. Are you in this league, right, Rain?
I don't think I am in your league.
You should get into this league. Come on. What you do?
I'm going to go and I'm going to go to my team.
This is the league. So I just want to make sure that you guys can see it. No, you can't see it. Right. Now you can. Right. In bottom place, the bottom three are Tony Gibson on 884 points, Ryan Kumar on 909, Kuba 99 on 974. Then we've got Sweet and Sour Dan Watts in ninth on 1,018 points. Column AFC Column Manchester United on one. He's in eighth. He's gone down a place. 1,038. We've got Queen Mary the First, the Tottenham Channels up by one in seventh on the 1,045. We've got Kate, just a girl who loves Spurs, in sixth place on 1,061. I've gone up to fifth. Wow, I've made a big jump on 1,072. Then we've got the top four of Dave, then a 1,096. Now we've got the top three. And the top three is we have a new leader. Nobody told me this, but Carl's in third place on 121 points. Ryan's in second now. He's been leading all season. Now he's in second on 1,145. And James THC, the winter is coming, is now the new leader of our league of 1,153 points. So there you go, James. If you're watching, bud, you're the new leader of the THFC Till We Die Fantasy Football League. So
I'm not going to be very popular if I join, Dermot.
Why?
I'm on 1,202 points.
Okay. Carl demands a recount. Look, I'm sorry. Look, there wasn't any dodgy count. There wasn't any count. There was no planes landing in the middle of Gorey with extra points for James. I swear, there wasn't any. There wasn't any suitcases under the table being pushed out. Being pushed to the fancy football league. That and it,
Don't you can't read that out.
Look, we're going to leave it there. Rain, thank you so much for joining me tonight, bud. Tomorrow is the build-up show. We've got games. Comes around quick, doesn't it? It's like game after game after game. Thank God we've got a week off next week. Yes, we do have the build-up for the FA Cup. So we're going to get me and Rain are going to talk about our favorite FA Cup mysteries, history, and we're going to talk about our favorite FA Cup games, non-Tottenham.
Oh.
What was your favorite FA Cup final, non-Tottenham? So keep it to tomorrow night, Rain, and then your best Tottenham memory. So there you go. You guys getting as well. Rain, where can people find you, bud?
I'm here. Various other places.
Everywhere.
Mainly here.
I'm sorry to say, is that an FBI hat in your background?
I was there's a story behind it. Do you want the story?
Yeah, go on, give us the story.
Okay. So I was working for a particular company, I won't mention the company, and we did baseball on Hyde Park every summer. It was like our team event, like about 100 odd people would go and do baseball. I had no interest in playing baseball, but I was one of the referees, and we got caps, and I did big badges for all of the referees, big badges like this, and on the badges it said, what did it say? Let me see if I can remember what it said. It said, "There's no point arguing with me because I'm already right."
And on that breaking news, on that bombshell, we should leave it there. Thank you all for watching. We are back tomorrow night 8 with all your build up to the we've got all your build up to the FA Cup game. We're also going to go over tomorrow as well, Thomas Frank's press conference. I think we need to start going over them a bit more, Rain, because I think they're going to get spicier and spicier until we get a Conte. I watched Conte's press conference the other night for the first time in a long while. By God,
Southampton.
Yeah.
Southampton.
It's the players, the managers, the good owners here for 20 years to win nothing. My God, was he right? Let us know, guys. It is Bill Nick's birthday on the 26th. We are going to do a Bill Nick stream. Let us know what you want us to do. And put in your favorite Bill Nick moment, what you remember of the great man. And what did Bill Nick mean to you? So maybe we can get them together and send them to the Bill Nick family or something like that. We can probably send it to them just to let you know what he still means to us today. Even after he's been gone. What's he been gone now? 20 years, 25 years?
Easy,
yeah. So let us know. But yeah, put it in the comment section. What does Bill Nick mean to you? And we'll get them all together, and we'll send them off to the Bill Nick family just to let them know we still consider Bill Nick the godfather of the lane. But guys, thank you all for watching. We are back tomorrow at 8. Come on, you Spurs! In Bill Nick we trust.
Yeah.
There you go. Good night.